All right, for this week's episode of I Can Cook Too, I'm gonna make a chicken dish inspired by chicken cordon bleu, and it's just inspired by. I really don't like ham or Swiss, so I'm gonna make it different. So right now I'm gonna make some caramelized onions. I'm gonna use these chicken breasts to stuff fucking pterodactyl chicken breasts. You got them eggs and then ricotta. So I'm gonna be filling it with ricotta cheese, and there's all the different stuff. So again, there's the ricotta cheese, ricotta. Gonna mix it with some parmesan and spinach. That's the other thing, and it make it with some spinach. So it's gonna be chicken stuffed with ricotta cheese, spinach, and caramelized onions. All right, so I've already started cutting the onions, and yeah, I'm just cutting them. Of course, again, like I always say, in order to stop you getting that stuff going in your eyes, make you crying, you want to cut it with the grain. So there you go. Yeah, I'm putting those to the side, obviously. Now I'm gonna mix the ricotta cheese, and it's just basically just gonna get the plastic out. Just mixing it around. As you can see, I don't have an exact amount. It's just whatever you want. Of course, cracking an egg. Now to put of course, the Parmigiano Reggiano. Yum. Yeah, and so now I'm just incorporating it all, and so from here I'll be able to. That's just basically the stuffing. I'm gonna put some seasonings in it too. I'm gonna season it with some pepper, onion, I think some basil too. Yeah, see, they're the seasonings. That's garlic powder. Basil, yeah, there we go. I also put basil. The chicken, and like I mentioned before, these are pretty much like pterodactyl. Pterodactyl. Did I say that? Pterodactyl breasts. Damn large chicken breasts. They got to come off a pterodactyl. I'm convinced. I'm convinced they got them bitches in the lab somewhere, like a little mini. Or is that like turkey breasts? Anyway, I already cut them. It was actually I had three of them, so I cut them and split them down the middle, and basically called butterfly. And now I have to flatten it out a little bit. Again, dealing with the pterodactyl breast. And I don't have a regular mallet. I have this I got the big, the big rubber mallet, rubber hammer, and I beat the shit out of that chicken. There's actually three of them. I was sitting there just beating it because they were so thick. So by the time I was done, it was pretty much like the size of the surface of the cutting board. You see? And I cut the audio out, but you just got to hear how much of a boom. Yeah, I beat the shit out that chicken. All right, so there's caramelized onions. That's going good. Oh yeah. Then that's the spinach. They put the spinach to wilt. So I did it in like 2 layers because it's like before they wilt, it's like packed high. And I didn't cut the stems off. I don't know if anybody does. I don't eat spinach that often, so. Not one of my favorite veggies to eat by itself. Like it's gotta be in something. All right, back to the pterodactyl breast. I'm spreading on the spread now. Obviously. Okay, so first layer on top of the cheese is going to be the caramelized onions. Yeah, I just had to use my fingers. I was gonna try to spoon it, but I'm not making this for anybody but me, so duh. And next is the spinach. It's already wilted. I cooked it in some butter, a little bit of oil, some garlic. Now I do season everything. Sometimes you don't necessarily see it, but everything is seasoned. It's always a good thing. So now it's time to roll it, which was kind of a disaster because stuff started falling out the back and it was hard. But what I did was, and you'll see next. Yeah, you see it's coming out right there on the right side. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't. I don't know how they always end up making it look like it was. Anyway, so here, what I'm gonna do is wrap it in plastic and then pop it in the refrigerator for about a half hour. It could go longer. What it does is, of course, obviously, it freezes up and then it's one solid log. Pause. Is that pausable? They said log, not hog. All right, so there's my dredging station. Dredge. We got the egg, flour, and panko breadcrumbs. All right, so like I said, there was 3 of them, so they were in the freezer, and I'm now taking them out and getting ready to dredge them. Yeah, what you didn't see is that I dropped the camera on the breadcrumbs and it all fell on the floor, and then it spilled the egg. And anyway, there's I'm just going through the dredging process, which is flour, egg, and then the breadcrumbs, and then it goes straight into the oil. One thing I did off camera, which was so stupid, I go to lower the meat down into the oil with my hand into the oil. So needless to say, I burnt the shit out of myself. Duh. Yeah, this was after I burnt myself. See, that was the one I burnt myself on. Dumbass. All right, so they're all done frying process. So now I'm gonna pop it in the oven so that it can bake and get cooked internally. Here I'm gonna make a cheese sauce. So it's just basically some butter. I'm making a roux. So butter, flour, mix it. Yeah, I did put too much flour, so it was clumpy at first. It took a little bit to get a little smoother. Now I'm gonna add some milk. And then mix it till it gets smooth. Yeah, like I was saying, I have to smooth it out some. So now it's all done. There's the sauce. Yeah, I had to thin it out because it was getting real thick. And there's the actual inside of it. You don't see the layers defined as in cordon bleu, but it's there and it's real good. This shit was fire. I didn't show me eating on camera, but trust me, this shit was. And I'm a fat boy, so you know if I say it's fire, this shit was fire. The cheese sauce worked out well.